lower the bit rate to 25k. 2500.
2500.
Yes.
2K.
2k 500.
2.5K.
Yes.
Let me.
So far we haven't dropped any frames.
John, have I told you this one time I spent 6 hours playing Yu-Gi-Oh with Chad?
Oh my
I'm
god,
very
that was
upset at you.
amazing.
Why are you sad? Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh's a hardcore game.
Magic is a hardcore game. Also, we're not.
I'm really bad at Yu-Gi-Oh.
We'd be looking slow.
I'm actually really bad.
Baby, oh, just play fucking Magic.
Are we smooth?
Yeah.
Legit? Did we
What's
fix
smooth?
the bit rate?
Looks
Are
like
we,
it.
Are we dropping frames?
No?
Looks like we do.
There's no warning.
Okay.
Let me see if I
Alright,
can get
time for
chat
me to
on.
host.
Let me see if I can get chat on here.
Ocean Magnify.
Ocean Man.
Wait, no, you didn't bring up the lyrics yet. We gotta
Bring up the lyrics.
Yeah, bring up the
Bring up the
After
lyrics.
host, damn.
Where's the
chat?
chat?
It's on the dashboard.
Oh, I got
And
it.
then you gotta unhide it.
Oh, I can only host. Okay. I can't just host for like.
You can technically if you auto host, but I think you have to log in to an actual PC to auto
We
host.
dropped some frames.
How many?
Just a couple.
It just dropped a lot and then back up again.
I don't know.
We might get some dips. I don't know.
We're gonna get some dips, but I mean, we should probably aim for stability to be honest.
Well, this is
You could look to scale it down even further to 480 and then just do 1000.
It looks fine on my end.
We'll leave it for probably
You
10.
say it looks fine on your end, but you're not listening to.
And we'll leave
Actually,
it for another
Plug
10
in some
minutes.
headphones and listen to the quality of
I don't
Use those earbuds. I probably have my earwax and DJs
I
compared
don't care.
But mine's pretty clean, Edric, as I'm
a biohazard. I am a walking
Take
hazard.
me by
It's
the
stuck.
hand, take me to the land.
Stuck to what?
Webcam.
Understand. Don't worry
How
about
did
it.
it stuck?
It's in between it.
Ocean
How did that happen? How did you pull that off?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I mean,
We'll leave it there.
John, come here and
John,
Oh,
go walk into
John.
another room.
John.
Hey.
Don't give us copyright problems.
Oh yeah, you might be.
No, it's fair use.
Yeah,
Well,
He's doing a rendition.
A terrible rendition
Yeah.
of it, that's for sure.
It's a good uncopyrightable rendition.
John, where are you going?
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go? I thought we were doing a podcast here.
No, John, turn it down and plug in these headphones and then come here and listen to it.
Fine.
Okay.
Move.
Sorry. Is it my turn to sing Ocean Man on stream in the center stage? Exit stage right, please. Oh, I'm tired. I think it's get some good stuff back.
Ooh, that's not good.
Sounds about right.
Okay, we're
Sounds
good.
good.
Yeah.
We haven't dropped anything yet
It's not too,
so
it's
far.
not too quiet.
So we're good.
Sounds fine. Sounds fine to me.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
sit back in your chair.
Sit back in your chair, John.
All right.
So this is episode 0 of the.
Why do you want to do an introduction? Do you feel like so is that
We
something
should-
we're gonna plan
We
out?
shouldn't need an introduction. They're gonna figure us out eventually.
Do you want an introduction?
I like a formal video introduction. I'd love to create.
Well, okay, I don't mind that.
We should story at some point in time we should storyboard a video introduction. Why are you laughing?
Actually, I like that idea. Storyboard a video introduction.
And it needs to be like very
You can get
no,
chat
like,
into
there's
it.
no continuity. Like most of the shots, like
Like it happens on different days and stuff, different locations.
no, in the same location, but like at a different time of day, at a different time of season. So like we'll take like one part of the video for me
In winter.
will be in winter, and then like we'll do a cut.
Yeah.
And it'll be in the same location from a different angle, but in summertime. Like I want it to be.
Well,
like,
how would they
And then
know
one
that?
in
Like,
fall,
they
one in spring.
But like they wouldn't be able to tell except maybe like
no, not in this room.
oh
No,
like,
we're gonna be outside.
Yeah,
We'll have a
storyboard
video.
doesn't have to be like.
okay.
What
It's-
did you
it's-
want? You
it
wanted
just
the
be-
whole podcast video introduction to happen in this room.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
not.
I'm fine with creative limitations. That's pretty good.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
try to make this room different, look different. And every,
I could
Think
put
inside the
some-
box.
I can put some
Sure.
animal posters here.
animal posters.
Sure, why not?
Animals.
PETA.
Mango posters.
Mangoes.
Mangoes.
Delicious.
No, but honestly, yeah, I want a story. We should probably
Story-
at some point.
Or like a
I
story.
want to have an arts and crafts stream too.
Sure. Like we can do every. This is our
The
playground.
possibilities.
Yes. The
Limit-
sky's the
limitless.
limit.
Like the movie.
Yeah,
A
sure.
really bad movie with Bradley Cooper. Was it Bradley Cooper?
What
What movies?
Sky's the limit.
Limitless.
Limitless.
I don't know.
Does
what
it have?
movie.
Was it Bradley Cooper?
I've never seen that movie.
I think I saw it with Patrick one time.
When was this?
You're asking me.
yeah,
don't have a-
that's true.
I don't have
Terrible
a
movie.
solidified timeline in my head, so I'm like,
God,
Alright, so
what?
we're gonna
Why'd
do
you
the
say
story.
God?
So
no,
we're gonna do the
it's just your
storyboard
memory is
eventually?
really bad.
Yes, appreciate it. Anyway, so we're gonna do the storyboard thing. Do we have? Can we get like a say aye or something?
What do you say?
All in favor of the storyboard?
Why we're having a democracy here? Why
Can
can't we
I
have a
vote?
dictatorship?
Can I vote via one of my pieces of bait, like in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh.
Caribbean?
I wanna-
Are we?
Everybody vote
The
for
fire-
themselves because they only get one.
Yeah, I thought it's stupid.
That's great. No, whatever you do, I'm good.
No, we have to wait. Okay,
Is
so
that
the
good
voting
call?
system also has to be equally as convoluted as the storyboard.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So that means we're gonna do anonymous ballots.
Can we send it via letter
Yeah.
or pigeon
What do you
mail?
mean-
Yeah.
What do you mean via letter?
Because
You gotta
that's
mail it.
how one of the old ways of doing
I've
votes.
never heard of this.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah. You,
explain
so in America, and this is what I just heard. They send you a ballot via mail.
Ballots.
Yeah, ballot via mail. You fill it up, and then you send it back to them anonymously.
That seems
Anonymous.
like there's tons of
Counterproductive.
opportunities
Yes.
to tamper with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's super.
Or we can do it via Pony Express.
The fuck is
We-
Pony Express?
We vote somebody to be a representative of our group, and then send them to the actual place to where you can vote to
But
represent
that
us.
also has tons of tampering in it, right?
Yes.
Also, you can kill the guy who's your pony.
Also, you guys gotta understand that we're all for zero production value. Whatever we're talking about has a little bit too much production value.
Which we were talking about.
The pony ballot and mailing, that costs
Pony?
money.
No, it's Pony Express, not Pony Ballot.
You know what I mean, though.
You said ballad again, like as if a pony was singing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Ballot with a T.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
Now with the AD. Ballad.
Ballad.
Sure.
Okay, here's a serious question. Do you feel like in the future you're ever going to sing a ballad to someone?
Absolutely not. I do
So
not have a
Romantically.
I do
Is
not
the
It
ballad
doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be romantic.
Okay,
I guess it could be very platonically.
single-
But sure.
Absolutely
But
not.
to serenade.
how would a platonic
Mariachi
ballad-
bands do it all the time.
really?
Yeah, mariachi bands they sing romantic songs, but they do it platonically.
So
It's
it's
not
not
like
towards
they-
one person. It's just toward like the general
Do
public.
you not know what platonic means? You guys not know what
Is,
platonic
is it, there's no
It's
emotion or
There's no like sexual
It's
desire.
not conditional.
Yeah.
Like it's unconditional.
It's
right?
not.
no.
What are you saying?
No,
you're
you can
thinking
have
of
unconditional love.
No, you're thinking of unrecruited love.
Wait, what? Sure.
Wait, maybe no,
Unconditional love, I'm
might be
thinking.
wrong.
You know what? I'm just gonna Google this.
Can Google? What?
Platonic.
No, first look up unrecruited. Does that mean like as in someone does not love you back?
On
that's like-
Well, unrecruited. The word unrecruited means not recruited.
Okay, the definition
Yes,
is
so-
love, unrecruited love, or one-sided love.
Oh,
is
it's
that
one-sided.
One side.
Okay, so platonic.
So unrecruited is platonic. No.
It's not.
No, it's not. All right. Sorry.
It's a type of love, close relationship, non-sexual, named
Oh.
after the Greek philosopher Plato.
Oh, see? Mariachi bands. They sing romantic songs to people, but they do it in such a way that isn't
Very, very platonically.
yeah.
Platonic. Plato, Onic, Plato,
Sure, if you
Yeah,
prefer it that way.
Yeah.
because it's based off Plato.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
What's your point?
So back on the topic of like,
Would you want?
Would you?
Do you feel like at some point in time in life you are going to
Absolutely
encounter a
not.
person in which you are going to want to serenade them with a ballad?
No, are you kidding? Please,
Like I'm not ruling it out.
I don't have a singing voice.
I would do it. ironically.
Then that's not platonic. Though.
Why?
That is platonic.
That is platonic.
That is platonic.
I guess so.
I would do it ironically.
Yeah.
Like if I happened to be in Italy and I happened to be underneath a balcony.
And
they happen to like this girl.
No, I didn't. I don't. No, no. The situation calls for it.
Oh, okay.
Just because I'm mise en scène. Like I'm
In the scene.
setting.
In
I'm
the
in
scene.
the situation.
It's night.
Oh. And no, it doesn't have to be night. It can be any time of the day.
Anytime.
I'm just saying. I just can't let the opportunity go. Like you're there, you're presented with the opportunity. You might as well take it.
Yeah.
You're in
But
Venice.
you also happen to have a guitar on you in your person.
Just because you don't need a guitar to serenade.
No. I mean,
I
like,
think it helps.
Can't you just sway it via voice?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Sure,
But
I mean,
my answer's still no because I don't have
wait,
a
is
singing
serenading
voice.
someone strictly via song? Can you serenade someone?
Via humming?
No, that's still via song.
Okay.
via
what?
instruments.
That's my point.
Via
Like,
instrumental.
Can I dance? Like an interpretive
It could be
Interpretive
dance or
dancing.
lap.
love dance. Is that serenading someone?
I think technically
Interpret
speaking,
what?
yes. Yes.
No, but I always thought serenading was like to like use your vocal cords.
Do I need
Does-
to Google
does-
this too? Like,
Does
yeah, sure.
does the term serenade has to imply vocal cords?
Yes, I think so.
serenade.
A serenade.
Well,
It's like promenade would imply you have legs.
really?
It's walking.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got the spelling wrong, but here's the definition: a piece of music sung or played in the open air, typically by a man at night under the windows of his lover. So it has to be under.
No, it says typically.
Typically.
Well, so
Yeah. You can do asymptomatically and have it atypical.
sure, but yeah, that's the definition.
What would be atypical?
So anything that's not under a balcony,
The balcony's out and
it's on fire.
No.
no,
Not in Italy.
no, it's in Italy.
Okay.
She's on the balcony,
Yeah.
and I'm on the balcony above her.
One step higher.
Yeah. And
You're singing down at her.
I'm singing down at. I'm not even singing. I'm just shouting. Shouting down at her.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey, Juliet!
Hey, I love you.
But no, to answer your valid question, no, I would not because I don't have a singing voice.
No, you
No,
don't,
but
you
what if
don't
someone-
need to require a singing voice.
Yeah,
I mean, our dad
singing-
loves to serenade Edric all the time.
It's true,
Yeah, it's
especially with the balcony under
I serenade
starry night in the sky. But yeah, it's true. But I think having a good singing voice would definitely help.
Oh, it definitely adds to the occasion.
Yes,
having
but
a bad
yeah,
singing
singing
voice
voice,
doesn't take away.
It could
It might.
add singing voice could add to it.
Yeah,
comical,
'cause it's- 'cause-
comical aspect, yes, absolutely.
yeah, they might consider your sincerity,
Yeah,
It's a
or
thought that
just, you know,
counts.
as a comic
or the fact that you're risking life and limb to be embarrassing in front of so many people.
or just one person.
Maybe that's why a lot of the scenes
Yeah,
during
but-
the night.
No,
But then they'll be screaming at you. Why is a dog yelling?
Yeah, I know.
Or a cat screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a cat dying? What's going on?
What
Yeah.
a cat at. But yeah, that's my answer.
No, but you've never been put in a situation where you've been so emotionally overwhelmed that you wanted to sing someone out.
No.
No.
Song.
I had a friend.
Who would often get emotionally overwhelmed to the point where they want to sing songs.
No, but he did try to serenade somebody into
Swoon somebody?
loving him. Yeah, soon.
How?
By doing a ballad.
Acoustic?
No, not sweep her off her feet,
Yeah,
as the
that's
saying
what I'm
goes.
going on.
I saw you when you went there.
Okay.
No, but he tried to play a song
How?
via piano.
Did he drag the piano under the balcony?
Wait,
No.
how did he lure this individual? How did he lure the object, the person of interest, the POI? How did he lure the POI into the room with the piano?
With the candy in the
The
band.
piano was in the hallway.
Wait, where was this? What's this locale?
High school.
Oh, why would a piano be in the middle of the hallway? Like, did I get that
Was
right?
the piano tuned?
Yes. There's an upright piano
Also,
in the hallway in front of the music.
room. There you go. Why would it be in the hallway though? Just for students to use for the lulls?
Probably they're cleaning the music room and
What was the end result?
Yeah, there you go. That's enough.
got rejected.
How? Wait, how?
That's a damn shame.
Did she walk? Did she not think the song was for her? That's how she got. That would be a great way to get rejected. Just out of
No,
like
I'm pretty
no,
sure-
no,
no,
think
no.
about this. Think about this. I'm like this is analogous to a situation in which you are waving to someone
Yeah.
in the crowd, and the person thinks they're being waved at, so they wave back. But in reality, you're waving to someone behind
the
you.
individual.
Yeah.
That's
The equivalent of this would be a serenading. Can you? Is this what happened?
no. That's
Oh.
not the outcome. The outcome was she said that very thoughtful, but
I knew
I'm
it.
not in. I'm not currently looking for someone romantically.
Was
And how did he take this?
was she an art?
Did
Was
he start playing like Beethoven's?
No, I recall
Did he
half an
play out-
hour later he went up to me. He's like, "I got rejected." Oh well. Okay.
Did he start playing like his own walk off tune?
No, nor he did not do the Hulk ending of the theme. He's like, dude.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, he didn't do that.
I'm glad.
He was just sad and he's
They
like,
should have taken it in stride. This guy, he doesn't have a. Well, I guess at the same time, you're kind of, you're overwhelmed by the rejection.
It's true. I'm
True.
glad. I'm glad he wasn't an r/nice guy. Which
What?
our
there's a subreddit where like guys like would try to swoon their potential
crush,
yeah, sure. And
Person of
when,
desire.
when they get rejected,
person of
they,
interest.
they
POI.
start out nice, but the moment they get rejected, they're like complete assholes, and people post stories about their experiences and all that.
Why do you browse the subreddit?
I don't. It's just on my YouTube feed, unfortunately.
Why
I try to get rid of them, but they won't leave me alone. No matter what I do.
Oh, it's on your what?
YouTube feed.
YouTube?
Yeah, because there are people who like basically showcases these like
I never had-
subreddits.
I never had that.
I know.
Listen, to like a couple
I
videos
did get
down. and it
I
comes-
did get sucked into the
weird-
fat algorithm.
Yes, I know
My
that.
600-pound life.
Yes,
I
I see
started
that.
getting-
You told that to us like
I
multiple times.
No, it happened
It comes
again.
out of nowhere. I don't go out of my way and search r/like Reddit on YouTube. Why would I do that?
What did you happen to stumble to like a couple of videos and then all of a sudden it just
Yeah, no,
feeding into from
it's like-
YouTube recommend?
yeah, it's like a fever dream, man. I don't even know how I got there. Just a couple clicks and videos later, boom. There's like it just floods my feed. Like, leave me alone, please. I don't know what you want. Just leave me alone. You want my money? Just take it. Leave me alone.
Does it not know the fact that you were browsing Reddit constantly?
Would that have a correlation? Like me browsing Reddit
I don't
and
think
the Google algorithm just dictates.
No,
hey, maybe
no,
we
I
should-
think it's the fact that, and I noticed this also with my account. Even though you don't hook up your account to Reddit,
I didn't even.
if you're using Google Chrome
Oh, no.
and you have Gmail synced up to it,
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
then and you have your YouTube account also with it,
Yeah. With
then
bits.
every single time you open a video
Have you dropped
from,
frames?
no, we have it.
Sorry to break immersion, but I
Yeah.
feel like the stability of the stream is at hand. And most.
Anyways, yeah. Every single time you
What's
open
your
a video, it also adds to your recommendation.
Yes.
I feel like that's also another situation.
Is this a good part for me to segue into the next conversation that I want to sort of talk about?
Which
sure.
okay, go ahead. Bring up the topic.
All of the conversations so far have been just like stuff that is like popping in my frontal lobe, like nothing really.
So this is in regards to the information and like the advancement of technology and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on the eventuality of like every single information, basically all our personal stuff being just like in the cloud for everyone to access, kind of thing? Like it's going to happen. I get the
No, there's gonna be a counterculture movement that's gonna stay away from stuff like that.
But wouldn't that theoretically like pull us away from human advancements, kind of thing? Because
How would that
as
possibly?
as technology kind of progresses, we want more information like to grow. They want to grow their information exponentially. So how do you do that? Store other people's like ideals, talks, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but a lot of
clock.
yeah, you said talks and ideals, right? But a lot of your life is pretty mundane and completely trivial and trite, so it doesn't actually matter. So you're gonna have a lot of like garbage. I say garbage is probably isn't the right term. Valueless and informationless clips and data
Of your
points.
life. Okay.
Like you'll just have data points of like I'm sure you could extrapolate very complex things if you really were to look into it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like at what point is that really efficient to be going through so many mundane clips to
I mean,
get
we
it?
wouldn't go through the clips that Worldwines would.
Yeah, but then like I said, I think there would be a counterculture movement in which people would want to stay away from having to post their
So
lives.
when it comes to information
Like-
technology, there would be a bit of a stagnation after a while. Like
Like
people say-
stagnation in what term? Like
so,
what are we
like
stagnating?
people would be too afraid that all their lives will be just like.
It's not that they're too afraid. It's just they would much rather enjoy the thing that they're doing currently rather than have to record it. And then, like, if you were to tell me, oh, the recording ends up being automated, then I
Well,
might see that being different.
People nowadays do it subconsciously via social networks.
No,
right?
but that's no. It's
It's
subconscious.
basically subconscious at this point.
Yeah, it's subconscious, but being like recording something and actually doing something are two different experiences.
Well, I guess, but like I'm seeing like social media is like people having this like set experience at all. I'm just gonna put this on Facebook or Instagram or something.
Yeah, but by virtue of doing that, you end up with a bias or perception of this is going on here. I'm gonna have to edit it or frame it in such a way.
I
But
guess
if you eliminate that and just say I'm going to just do the activity without recording, then you get a different
I'll
you get a different biased experience that doesn't lean towards having other people look at your private moment. So, like, if you were to argue when recording becomes automated and then like algorithms or like objects or technologies have gotten so automated to the point where I don't even need to think about recording my life and it just ends up being recorded anyway. Even then, you still have this subconscious level of like, oh, I'm on camera, I'm being recorded currently. I don't know. It ends up being a really weird place.
It feels very fake. 'Cause
Yeah, it feels like you're putting on airs of a performance.
Oh yeah, like a
a
persona.
Truman Show or something.
Not really. More like, oh, I know this is going to be viewed at some point, or this has the potential of being released to the public. So
So
you lose privacy in that regard.
Right. And there would be a counterculture kind of thing.
Yeah, there would be a counterculture in
I mean,
telling people, hey,
there would be then there would be like an impasse, right? Like there would be
No.
like counterculture versus the culture of information being like basically stored in the cloud kind of thing.
what do you mean at an impasse? Like, what do you mean by
Like-
like, isn't they're in conflict and they want to like
Yeah.
beat each other out?
No, like not beat each other up. It's like have a solution, like which way is the right way kind of thing.
But there is no right way.
Somebody will try to find like
No, but I mean, like, just because you prefer to live your way one way, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the right way. It's like how people choose to become hermits. Like, I'm not going to condemn them for being hermits. Definitely, they lose out on all our conveniences that we have, but they appreciate other aspects of life I'm never going to encounter because I'm not a hermit.
fair enough.
So, like, both ways of living are ways of living. One living isn't objectively better or worse.
Fair enough. Alright.
And you say there's like an impasse, but I personally don't see how either movement's going to be confrontational unless one movement infringes on the liberties / freedom of the other movement. Let's say the automated recording one gets to the point where everything starts recording things automatically, and you have no control over that. Then the one movement of wanting to not be having things in private and having privacy would get upset because they have no control on what things are private or not.
Right.
But like I said, as long as one movement doesn't infringe on the other, there's not going to be like a confrontation.
Alright. That's a good point. Do you have anything to add?
no, not really.
Oh, on the topic I wrote down, this segues nicely into this topic.
Sick.
Do you feel like you react this also segues into this whole podcasting. Do you feel like a live experience is different from a pre-recorded experience? If you were watching like a show or an event, does the experience change or does
I
your
think-
perception change differently if it's in real time or if it's just
I think it would.
well, not saying your personal experience.
Yeah.
What would you prefer?
What would I prefer?
And why would you prefer one over the other?
I-
And what about you? I mean, I'm opening this up. This is addressed to anyone and everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. because being at the experience live would be very personal, because I'm there in the moment, right? But that could also go the same way of watching just a pre-recorded thing. Theoretically, you're in the now at all times. You're just watching something that past is very.
No, but I'm saying like innately does it change? If I were to show you something pre-recorded and tell you, hey, this is happening in real time, and you believe that it's happening in real time, does that change your experience?
I don't think so.
You don't think
I
so?
just enjoy it. Because I wouldn't know if it was like, I wouldn't know that I'm getting bamboozled, right? So I think I just enjoy the experience regardless.
Well, what does a live experience offer that a pre-recorded experience doesn't offer?
Just being in the now. I think that's the only thing I see currently.
But what is what is the boundaries of a live recorded and a pre-recorded?
Like you being in a
Is
live
the
concert.
boundary of the a live is you have an audience with you
I mean,
or with your friends?
I think live, the only aspect.
What's your definition of
Okay,
live?
yeah, okay, you're right.
Set that boundary first.
Okay,
and
for
then
me specifically,
we can actually work on that.
the only thing a live service would do for me, and is different from pre-recorded service, is that if you have a chance to interfere / influence the live broadcast. So if you have a chance to like interact in the chat, and they look at the chat, and that somehow changes the outcome of the presentation. Like that's a true live experience. But if people are recording in real time, but there's absolutely no way for the viewer to interact or change the outcome or influence the presentation of the matter.
Yeah.
It's for me personally, it's no different from a pre-recorded session.
Okay, then what you think of, like, say in certain sports they have like this voting segments, or even TV shows that have these voting segments. Would that differ? Like, would that live experience more change your outlook of live, or is it still still treating it as a bot, even though that supposedly that voting system is still going to be live for another, say,
honestly, for me, I
24 hours.
don't think it makes a difference voting or not, because like I get what they're saying. They're trying to inject your participation into the live segment, but you don't get to see the inner workings of the voting system, so you have no fucking idea how you fit into the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Okay.
So like to me, they can flat out just be lying and just saying and just coming up with the votes themselves. Right?
True.
So unless they're transparent with that, it's like I have absolutely no idea whether or not.
And what do you mean by transparency? Is it by just showing the numbers, or showing the whole entire process of what the number represents?
Or them just telling both guys it's real for realsies.
Yeah, no. I don't know how transparent. I don't know what like precautions you have to take to make something transparent, but until I felt satisfied that my influence was actually affecting the live broadcast, then I would be happy calling it live. So like here's a live entertainment or live broadcast. Let's take for example concerts, right?
Yeah.
A live concert versus a pre-recorded concert or a pre-recorded studio album.
Okay.
Right. How do the differences differ? Like what makes them different? And like what are the good things or bad things per thing? In your eyes.
In my eyes, I prefer the studio more often than not.
No, but the live. I'm not talking about a pre-recorded live concert. I'm talking about you participate in a concert.
Me participating in a concert. I don't know. I don't have a solid experience on concerts per se, but even then, to some extent, more often than not, I think I prefer the studio most of the time still.
Oh, why?
Channel,
what do you say?
He just did a little emo thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's the email?
Anyways, but
Chicken chunks.
God, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
You don't have experience with concerts?
No, well, my experience of concerts aren't large enough to actually give me a definitive opinion. But even then, I still feel like I more enjoy studio version because uh, I feel like it's the artist envisions of the song rather than the concert, and the concert more often than not feels rushed or out of tune to what the liking of my expectations of the song.
How are you? Were you paying attention at all?
Me?
To the conversation.
Sort of.
No, he wasn't. More often than not, I think it feels like it's just my expectation of the song
Also,
that sets
I think
the difference between
musical
live.
concerts in general, I think, is a bad example because
Why?
unless you're doing something radical, like jumping on the stage or something like that, you're not really influencing the song. Like you're getting
No, you're influencing the song because you're part of the crowd.
You're part of the crowd.
Reflects
And you feel the
I guess
you
so.
feel the energy,
the atmosphere.
the atmospheres and changes.
But
because it's a
that's
live
that's-
performance.
So
Yes.
that's
There's a pressure to screw up.
Like
I get that, but that's not on an individual level, right? For example, like let's say I'm watching a streamer on Twitch or something.
Oh, okay.
And then like I type something in chat and the streamer reads that and just like responds to it. That's much on a personal level
Okay.
because he's reading your comments. But like once again, like music concerts, you really can't do something like
You can't
that.
single out a voice out of the crowd.
Yeah, like because you're just
But
one person
I-
versus the rest of the crowd.
and playing devil's advocate here, like
There's no right or good
yeah,
size.
there's
There's
a-
no devil.
but say you could kind of argue that there are certain artists that plays really well only in live concerts instead of their studio counterparts.
No, because like the live concert or aspect of a live broadcast
Mhm.
puts pressure on the individuals performing to execute their vision.
Yeah.
Right. So mistakes are a part of the performance. Playing it faster or slower is part of the performance. Playing it with more feeling or less feeling, or like hating the crowd is part of the performance, right?
Pretty sure that's
Or
how it
appreciating the crowd is part of the performance. But I'm saying all these things are like it's an interplay.
works.
Right?
Yeah, they're
So
Yeah.
and in a studio album, it's more of an isolated case in which the band is allowed to see what their vision is and hone and sharpen that vision until it becomes what their ideal is.
Yeah.
Right. You don't get that in a live concert.
true. Yeah,
Like mistakes more often than not get shadowed.
because they can take different takes.
Yeah, so you could argue a studio album may dehumanize people because you don't get to see like what makes people human.
Yeah, they create a product instead of a.
But like I heard a lot of people saying like the Red Hot Chili Peppers concerts are way much or better than most of their studio albums.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, because they feed off the energy of the
You feed
crowd.
off the
They
energy.
understand, like they're performance artists.
Yeah.
Right. They understand the lulls and the highs of a crowd, and when to feed into the energy, or when to, chill out, wait, and then raise the tension to the point where you can peak it, and then have an explosion of
And-
energy.
And it was the same case with like the Beastie Boys and also with Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Those are really notable bands that feed off of.
But I mean, in
crowd.
itself is its own talent, right? You
Yeah.
have to like look at the small social cues. I say small social cues, but I mean it's a fucking crowd. Right? It's like huge, large crowd. You can, I don't know. There's some things that you have to be on the lookout for to be able to understand and be receptive of the fact that the crowd is feeling a certain way, because they're not going to tell you outright.
True.
They can express it, they're not going to tell you.
They're not gonna say, we feel 80% of the way there. Please continue until you hit 100%.
Where's that from?
Nowhere.
Probably made it up. Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
What about you? Do you feel like you perform differently live versus a like if we were to do a pre-recording of something?
Yes, because it's
Yeah.
again it'll be back to the pressure of execution and executing
Why is it
properly.
Because if you're in a pre-recorded session, you can take as much takes as you want. So you perfect
Well,
it.
what if the pre-recorded session only had a limited amount of takes?
Oh,
That's
I'm
true.
still. It's more than
Like a
it's-
one-take wonder type of thing.
Oh, okay, never mind.
How is that any different from a live session?
There's not a lot of crowd in the pre-recorded stuff. I don't know.
I don't know then.
Like,
Like-
when people say pre-recorded, they usually imply there's going to be multiple takes to make this one song or one piece of.
But it's not multiple takes. It's more if they can edit it to their will.
That too.
And
That too. I'm pretty sure when they have a pre-recorded session, they do at least more than one take just to, you know.
Okay, I get that. So,
But
so you'd find more comfort in the pre-recorded stuff than you doing pre-recorded stuff than you would doing live.
I think it's the conception of pressure, because if it's isolation and it's just by yourself, you feel like there's less pressure, and the only pressure you get is just yourself.
You can argue the opposite though, because if you're by yourself and in an isolated case, then you'd have more reasons for it to be perfected.
Yes.
For it to be, if you were a perfectionist, at no point in time would you think you'd want to release your work because it wasn't good enough.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can.
There are pressures elsewhere that you get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. And that's why I'm asking for personal questions. What would you prefer? A live session in which you have to do things on the fly, or like deal with and adapt to the situations that come at you at hand, or do a pre-recorded session in which you have to conceptualize an idea and then execute.
I think I would prefer the pre-recorded ones, maybe.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know. I'd like to retract my statement because it would be different case by case kind of thing.
Case by case. How?
Like,
because honestly, if I would try to do it live, just do it one take, just do it right now, and that's if the standard that I did into it is the standard I'm gonna leave out with it.
So what you see was what you get.
Yes, and if I make a mistake, so be it. I've done it already. I have to go on with it, but still learn from it.
Yeah, I get that. I'm because I'm lazy. I would prefer to do it live session because I find it easier to do things to adapt on the fly rather than have to.
Oh yes.
Because if you get me into a situation where I have to pre-plan things, I end up being a perfectionist and not.
Yes,
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I prefer for it to just be a one and done deal. It's like, oh, I'm giving a situation, adapt to it, and then look. I guess I could look back on it and see what I could have done better.
They've done better.
But I mean,
but then you can take that experience, and then the next time that situation arrives, you improved on it.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, there's no like guarantee that I'm going to even learn the lessons, because I'm not in the habit of reviewing my live stuff or reviewing stuff that I've done before and then being like, I could have done this better. I'll be more conscious of it.
Yeah, you don't sulk into the mistakes that you do. Or
it's more so just intuition, right? If it feels bad and it feels really fucking bad, then I'll remember that situation and be like, yeah, I don't want to repeat of that situation. What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
But notably, if it feels really good
or somewhat decent,
when it feels decent,
you won't remember.
I won't really remember. If it feels really good, I still won't really remember. Like those are like the little, like the stars align, and so like boom, you hit like the great, fucking great presentation or whatever, and it just happens to be like that. But I won't necessarily pick up on the little ingredients that made all of those, because I guess at the same time, all the variables are too expansive to know exactly what, because every live performance is different, right? Like I've done speeches in front of people like in high school and stuff, and I'm like, it's different because you're not going to know exactly how every variable is going to line up in such a way to make the speech so great. So I guess that's a talent in itself to be able to know that, be like, well, I could do it like this, and so in the heat of the moment, you just suddenly come up with an idea and be like, oh.
I can't. I don't know how to do that.
You literally have to put yourself in that situation over and over again until you develop an intuition. This is one way of doing it.
Yeah. Because, well, there you go. Right? Yeah.
I mean, I've been speaking for over at least 3/4 of this whole thing. I'd rather dig onto you guys and see what types of things you like.
But then you're also giving us ideas, and
but I mean,
also thinking of also trying to think of counter arguments or arguments that can go hand in hand with the topics that we're discussing.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like this also is it's a good. I don't want to say thought exercise, but
mental exercises.
It is a good mental exercise, but at the same time, you're still like exercising your vocal chops by talking.
Our lexicon of, I don't know what we're going in there.
Yeah.
Our vocabulary.
Stop using big words.
What else do you got? To say?
I got baby
You got any
brains.
other things going to the front of your mind? You got any other
Any
little things
topics?
you want to talk about? What about you, Jay? You want to talk?
I got no
Why not?
topics.
Why is it that you blank out? Tell me that. That's another reason why. Why is it that you blank out if you're put on the spot?
Just doesn't want to be on the spot, man.
Because I gotta go through my mind and sift through a bunch of information that I want to. That
Just
because
spit
I
out the
don't
first thing that comes to you.
retain the information that. No, that's not how I say it. I had to sift through a lot of information and then try to cohesively put into a, a topic or a sentence so that it tries to invoke what I'm try to say or try to go with what I was thinking of.
Here's a question. What is it? What are the types of things you want to say? Does that make sense? What are the types of things that you want to say? Or do you want them to be like profound, thoughtful things? Do you want them to be like quick, ditty, witty shit dad jokes that you want to say immediately? Does it have to be
Okay,
comic
so
relief?
the quick, woody,
Quips.
the quick ones.
Yeah.
I do that a lot nonchalantly,
Okay.
and the reason being is, one, it's really easy, and I can think of on the spot really fast,
Okay.
and two, it's most of the time it's just observational humor.
Yeah. So what's to say that you can't achieve the same sort of
It's
level with like thoughtful? and
I'm not saying
profound things?
I'm not saying there's a different level. You can't achieve it.
You're just saying it's hard.
It's just hard for me because I have to think the topic and will it or will it not make sense to everybody else, because my sentence structures or either my sentence structure or comprehension isn't to the level of most people. No, let me rephrase it. It varies.
Uh-huh.
It would be really well done, or it could be really, really poorly constructed, and nobody will understand what I'm trying to pitch.
Do you feel like that's is that a skill someone can improve on?
Yes,
Really?
Absolutely.
I think so, and
And how do you go about improving that?
It's one is people like you who are willing to wait and let individuals take your time and think of topics or think of questions either on the spot or like a few minutes later.
Mm.
The ability just to have time and think about it helps tremendous
I think it
tremendously.
just comes with more experience.
You think it comes with more
It's repetition.
Yeah,
The more you do
it's not
the-
only
the more you
repetition.
have to
It's
do the thing that you're doing, right? Like at the end of the day, pretty much everything comes down to repetition.
But that's the thing though, because the type of skill we're talking about is quick wit. It's
Quick
on
wit,
the spot,
and on
right?
spot.
It's like
Yeah,
given a topic you've never encountered before, how are you supposed to interpret it in such a way that it is both comprehensive and entertaining for other people to want to hear?
Mhm.
Because that's a lot of the times people are bored.
Yeah.
Right. They don't have the skill of being entertaining or being able to interpret whatever they think in a comprehensive way that lets everyone relate to the topic.
I still think it's.
And if it's
I think-
repetition,
I think yeah.
I don't think.
but you're given so many situations in where you weren't dealing with the same thing.
Well,
So how's it
but, like,
repetition?
it might be different case by case, but I think for the most part, it's rather generalized. Like they have some sort of common theme.
No, I think it's just more of just being put on the spot more often than not.
Yeah, like
You
well,
just-
that's
the rep-
repetition though.
That's just the repetition that John was trying to
Oh,
apply.
okay.
Rather than the topic, it's more on, oh hey, here's another topic. What's your opinion about it?
Yeah. If you're put on the
Oh.
spot enough times, you're just going to like kind of
Develop an instinct or develop an understanding or develop a way to construct entertaining
and thoughtful.
entertaining sentence or thoughts for people to comprehend or even just listen to it.
Where do you stand on this
I think so.
topic? No, I mean, like, do you feel like your skills are pretty good?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
No, I don't know how to think on the spot to save my life. That's why my jokes are kind of bad. It makes you angry, really, really, really angry, which I find absolutely.
I feel like
amazing.
mines have been improving a lot compared to like back.
It is getting better, much better.
Better.
It used to be horrendous,
Yes.
but now it's getting a lot better.
It's good.
Like it's to a point where now I can actually, even with some of my friends, I can actually input something, and for them it'll take a while for them to actually process, and they have to make an actual argument or a statement.
I find that wait, okay, here's a good question.
Brain tickler?
This not brain tickler, but this would definitely give me insight as to how you view me. Do I seem predictable or unpredictable?
Unpredictable.
In what sense?
Well, okay. Unpredictable in public situations. I would say unpredictable in public situation because
do you agree with that? I mean, you just put on an air like as if you don't agree with that.
Not personally. I think you're predictable in a sense that you're like regardless of who you're talking to, you can sound yourself as very charismatic and very intelligible.
But like the things that I'm going to say.
Yeah, like what's Edric's intentions or what's he's trying to.
I think he's predictable because you like dissecting other people's like thoughts, processes, and stuff. You'll ask questions that'll make people really think, right? Though that's usually like the flow chart when you talk to us brothers. And like I think I've seen you talk to other people like in public, and I think that side of the things you want to learn more about the people's like thought process and their perspective, I think that still applies to when you talk to people in public as well. That's what I'm saying. I think you're.
So you think the approach is predictable?
Yes.
Okay, but the topics at hand.
They're situational. Like it's on a case by case, right?
Okay.
But the philosophy of what you want to do, is basically the same.
Yeah. Do you agree with that or no?
Debatable. Like I could argue that there are a lot of moments where Edric is unpredictable.
Okay.
Unpredictable. How?
Give me
Like how like you're right in the sense where he's predictable in terms of like approach, like and asking questions and topics and stuff like that. But there are moments where he's you're how would I say this? You put a facade of predictability, but whenever we will be aside, you have this monologue or you're conscious of during that moment, and you tell me, oh, this is what I thought about this individual, this is what I thought of this individual, and this is what I thought about that individual, and your range of taking so much information is so unpredictable. I don't know what you're going to think about this individual. I don't know what you're going to think about that individual. Yes, you put a facade of a predictability of, oh, I'm a charismatic individual.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to learn more information about it. Oh, you have entertaining topics I want to talk about. But in the end, when we're aside, you're in public sense, you think everybody differently, and it's so unpredictable. I don't know what you are thinking most of the time.
So the thought process and my ways of thinking is unpredictable, but the approach and facade in which I deal with people is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that's agreeable.
Like say we're talking to an old lady.
Yeah.
And you put this jovious youngster who wants to get close to older generations.
Yeah.
And then it's to a point where the old person is loving your antics, starts nudging you and stuff like that, and then when that person leaves, then you literally come out and like, oh man, this is older. She's she's so conservative in her old ways or stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like to pick up on the small little gestures / things people like to do,
Mhm.
and overanalyze to a point where you really don't get any sort of.
I don't. Like
I
most
should
of the time.
tone it
I don't
down a
even
bit,
know what you are thinking.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's the unpredictability.
That's the
part.
unpredictability.
You
Like,
don't know the
that's
outcome.
what I think of unpredictability.
Well, I guess I'm unpredictable in that sense because I never really know what I'm going to be thinking of
Yeah.
next either. It's like if something piques my interest at the time, then I'll just think about it.
Like even your the rants it's predictable because most of the time we put you into that spot and you go into a rant.
Yeah.
But
Like
that's
you were
because like we kind of thoroughly enjoy
I find
you
humor in it.
overreacting on those topics or those mundane things and yeah.
So how would you describe your own thought processes? I haven't really thought about like examining your own thought processes and how because it would just take. I don't want to say too much time, but I mean I just don't have a large enough data set to really.
It takes a
Also
lot of
takes
brain
too much
power.
time. It also takes too much time. Let's be real here.
It feels like it takes a lot of time, but honestly, it just takes a lot of brain power.
Brain power to what?
Like just to think. Of,
No. I'm talking about how do you.
What
How
am-
would you describe your own thought processes? The reason why.
Very focused.
No, but I mean the reason why I don't necessarily have a good gauge of how you guys think is because I haven't really seen you guys in because like we've mentioned this over and over again, but given a public setting and I'm with you guys,
Yeah.
I generally tend to overwhelm and end up
On
being
any
overbearing,
topic, yes.
right? And it's difficult for me to gauge how you guys would react in certain situations without me interfering because like if I'm not interfering, it just means I'm not in the situation observing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at no point in time can I ever get an isolated case in which I don't shut up. Or I do shut up and I just observe completely what you guys are doing. Because more often than not, you guys either you or other parties will often hound me for my own thoughts. So how would you describe your own thought process? You said focus.
Yeah, focus. Like whether it's because I notice this a lot through my conversation. If it's just one-on-one individual conversation,
Mhm.
I can literally lead a conversation there.
Mhm.
But if it's like another party, like three people
Mhm.
or more, it starts. I start losing it because I'm now losing focus on topics or subjects,
Mm.
and then now I'm taking more consideration of the third or other individuals in the group, and so thus my thought process starts to split up a bit, and it's less focus, and now I lose a lot. I don't really contribute to a lot of conversation.
Well, you.
Actually, now that I really think about it, I think it's somewhat sort of the opposite.
Right.
Because when I'm having conversations with like an individual, just one on a one to one basis,
Mhm.
like I feel like my answers are very like they're very short.
Generic.
Yeah, like it like I almost answer people's questions as if it was like a yes or no question.
Why do you do that?
I have no idea. Like I think that's just like how that's like how I communicate on a one to one verse like basis.
Do you feel like is that because you're uncomfortable or you are
Maybe.
comfortable?
I think it's because I'm uncomfortable. Maybe.
And is that because of the place and time or the other individual? And
I think
just you
there
not
are
knowing them
multiple factors that sort of add up to this entire thing.
enough? Okay.
But when we're talking in a group, I think because of you guys like everybody talking at the same time, I sort of have my own time to think about my own input.
And don't forget, there's ideas bouncing off of
Yeah,
other
exactly,
people, and
like,
you can grab onto those
This,
and
yeah, this
inject
gives
it
me
in
other
your
thought
response.
processes and stuff. But like, I think another reason why I try to answer as fast as I can to one person is because I don't want to keep people waiting, kind of thing. Right?
You used to go through that stage too, where
Yeah, I
you
used to
felt
go
like you had to say that thing that first came to the front of your mind, even though it wasn't necessary. Right?
Yeah.
But now that I told you, you should just take your time.
Dude, like now it's conversation with just other individuals,
Mhm.
just one individual is just to a point where people say it's very thought provoking, and I never really intended to.
That's
be,
never happened to you before.
It never had really happened to me, and like I know this with a lot of like single conversation. Like say I'm talking to a stranger, then if that person is entertaining, then I'll pick at it like what you would do. Then I'll put and interject my thoughts into it. Then understand their thoughts, and then try to interweave with my thoughts and his thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To a point where like now it's starting like I'm starting to lead the conversation, being the more dominant one, and it's literally that stage. It's like it's to a point where it's our conversations basically.
Are you enjoying them?
Oh hell yes.
Do you feel like they're more effort or less effort than before?
They're less effort now.
Less effort.
Yes.
Do you default to any like questions or mentalities? If you feel like you've approached an unknown state or an unknown situation, do you ever feel like you have to default to a previous line of thinking?
Somewhat yes, somewhat no. I'm still trying to get used to that, but as soon as I get as soon as I'm comfortable in the topic, then I can lead it to wherever I want to lead it to. Get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So like that's why I was genuinely excited for the speed dating because I really wanted to test that, like push the boundaries of my uncomfortableness and getting single conversation on
and see how you perform in those situations.
That's good. Very good.
I was genuinely.
Do you ever just like
excited for
look back at certain conversations and worry how they should have gone?
No.
No.
I tried to let that. I let that go.
Sometimes I run scenarios in my head over.
I used to do that, and then I figure out, oh man, my head hurts. I can't really think anymore. I'm losing off topic of things I want to focus on.
I do that currently. I still run conversations in my head.
You gotta slow down, mate.
Yeah. So I let that go, but it's easy for me to let go because I tend to wander through my mind, as you would say.
I mean, feel free to say stuff if you have other things to say or if you have questions.
I'm just reading the chat from time to time.
What about you? What about you, EJ?
You know you can read the chat on
what's the
other
chat
monitor.
say?
God damn it, dude! There's a chat right there.
Oh, good.
You'd have to tell me.
But did you go to?
That's
was that
to you.
Yeah, that's Chad, and he asked if I went to speed dating. I went to the speed dating. Unfortunately, I was late.
No, late in registration.
Late in registration. That's the correct.
Yeah.
And
which
so
makes no sense to me.
It was.
I don't know. We've been over this. I
Yes.
talked to you about this. And I was like, the place is not packed, and
it was okay. So number of tables was approximately 20 tables.
Okay.
And so the list of women was approximately 20 women.
Okay.
And then there's 20 men, and there's a waiting list of another 20 men.
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
That's why you need to be on the register list.
Yes.
Oh. Well, now that changed my perspective on things. Now I'm like, oh, okay. Now that's why they have the registration list.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Which made me really, really disappointed, and it made me really like, why didn't they explicitly say that on a freaking poster?
Yeah.
I guess
registration
kind of
required.
Yeah, there's that, and I guess it's kind of your fault for not inquiring too. You kind
Touché,
of
yeah,
just
true.
get into it.
I just jumped. It was literally. I saw the poster 3 days.
Wait.
3 days
How
before
long
the
was the
speed date.
poster up for?
I do not know.
Wait. Also, like we saw that 3 days before the speed dating event actually happened,
Yes.
and after seeing the poster, you just went on your merry way and saying, "There's a speed dating. I'm interested."
I'm interested.
And
I'm gonna try to get other people to join me because I don't. I kind of don't like going by myself.
That's fine, but you didn't inquire the organizer saying, "Hey, is this event still happening? Can I get more information?" Kind of thing. You didn't do anything like that.
No, because most of the time you
That's
just
why.
It
That's why you
depends.
missed the registration. Kind
No,
of
but at the same time, it depends on the occasion. Right?
Yeah.
Some occasions are like, oh, drop in and walk.
Well,
But
wait, when you saw the poster, did you just glimpse at it, or did you
I took a picture of it.
did you re-see that the entirety of the poster?
Yes, I took a picture of one time.
Did it
I
say-
even read the fine print, and it didn't even say
Registration.
registration.
And the
That's
deadline was. a
And
month
it
ago
didn't
kind of thing?
even say for more inquiry. Look at
Facebook page or whatever.
the NATE Association board
Oh, okay.
page.
Did you check those guys out?
Which
The Nate.
oh yeah, later on.
board or whatever?
That I was thinking
Afterwards.
to do the rock climbing thing, only to realize, oh hey, that's the same day where the
that's
swag
unfortunate.
the Swaggy Lock event happening. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm staying with the Swaggy
Yeah,
Lock.
he did the study group with
Swaggy Lock.
Okay, so
with a pipe fitting company.
so there's this pipe fitting company
Alright.
called Swage Lock.
Okay, sure.
Some of my friends like to call it Swaggy Lock
All right.
because it's swag lock.
Okay. That's how they spell it. That's how the company officially spells it.
Yeah, but, like if you spell it out, it's swag and it has an E
Oh.
in the end of it, and then lock.
All right, fair enough.
It's supposed to sound like swage lock,
Right. Swaggy
But-
Lock.
but my friends
Swaggy Lock. Yeah,
love saying
I get
Swaggy
it. I
Lock.
get it. I get it. So anyway,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, free pizza. I'm just gonna head there, maybe talk to some people. My classmates are having a study group after this. I was like, okay, I'll join them because they're studying. I'm studying.
okay.
For an exam.
Everybody's
So,
studying.
And then just before they leave, they're like, "Oh hey, we have too many pizza. Take as much pizza as you want. We strongly recommend half a box, but if you take a full box, it's fine." So we took each of us took one
A box.
medium-sized box.
And
Wow. Dang.
they had like a whopping 4 pizzas. It's a
Sick.
lot of pizza.
A lot of pizza.
So the turnout wasn't so good for the Swaggy Lock or whatever.
No, the turnout was a lot of people
But there was still
because there was
excess
beer.
pizza.
There was beer, free beer.
Everyone
So everybody just got drunk and didn't eat the pizza.
celiac and
But
was
they
allergic
overestimate how many people's gonna eat pizza
Oh,
compared to drinking beer.
It's because everyone was celiac and was allergic to gluten.
That could be a possibility
They
also.
had no gluten-free pizzas.
Sure.
And they're also all panacle pizza, and the sauce of
Oh,
panacle
okay.
pizza is just way too sweet.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Panago pizza.
Way too sweet
guys
for our
should do
There's
taste.
just something about the Panago pizza that I don't like. Basically, any pizza that isn't like crusty. No.
What pizza company has a crusty pizza?
I don't like crust. I don't like any pizza company, to be honest. Even Parmesan's is not bad.
Do you like my pizza?
It's crusty,
Okay.
kinda, but it's kind of floury.
So
Oh, yeah,
crusty is
'cause
a
I-
good
I-
thing.
I put way too much flour sometimes.
Crusty isn't like crispy.
Edges.
Yeah.
Or just like
bottom.
yeah.
Yeah, crusty
Oh,
everything.
okay. So like you're saying that every other pizza place is too flabby. Like
Flabby.
you want a pizza that when
Some
you
might
pick
say
it up, it just stays like it stays like a
sog.
burger. Yeah, we're not talking about that anyway.
We're not.
So you just want to have pizzas that if you pick up like this, it's gonna like stand like flat, like a cardboard box or something.
You don't want a Chicago style pizza?
Deep dish. I never had a deep dish pizza, and I sort of want to. I know there's a place in White Apple or whatever.
Isn't that expensive?
That place is
I'd like
expensive
to-
and
I'd like
it's
to say-
super greasy also.
I'd like to say it'd be worth the experience because I've never had it before.
What's your thoughts on buying expensive food?
As
The-
as long as I get my bang for my buck, I don't care.
Bang for your buck?
That's debatable because if
It's good. Sometimes.
if I
Actually,
know okay if
What do you say?
if
he says it's
the
good sometimes. I think he's replying. to
Soggy
this.
pizza?
Oh,
Get out of here. Soggy
Actually-
pizza's nasty.
actually, dude, you gotta specify. Anyway,
Yeah.
EJ, you
I
can
keep
continue.
telling anyone who replies in the chat
You need
to be
specify.
very specific because I go over so many topics I'm not going to know what you're referring to.
Right. Anyway, you can continue.
anyways, but
Expensive food.
if expensive food, if the expensive food is from a restaurant that I did a lot of research and I'm genuinely excited for it,
Yeah.
then I don't mind paying expensive food for it.
I guess you know what you're getting because if you do the research. Because you do the research. I just want to be full. I don't care. Like if it like.
yeah, listen.
Because I enjoy the taste of food.
Yeah, but
Well, taste gets affected by how many things I'm allowed to have.
Sure.
Because like if I have to pay $60 for a dish, but can get like 7 dishes for $60, I'm gonna get 7 dishes for $60.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna.
I understand that, but
Like quality does not trump quantity in this case.
yeah, that
Why eat?
debatable. Because
Yeah.
What do you say?
if it's
He just said why eat.
why eat?
Soggy pizza?
Be
Or
more
expensive.
specific, Chad.
Oh wait, is he talking about expensive food? Why
Yeah.
eat expensive food?
Just literally for
Because
the
I wanna be
taste.
full, all right.
And that's I really want to experience the taste of what the chef is trying to acquire.
Okay, so you'll be okay with like a dinner plate. Like let's say you pay like $60 and what you get is a dinner plate, but the food doesn't cover the plate, but it's like just at the very center. There's like a small piece of.
Oh yeah, if that
garnish
dude,
and stuff.
if that chef was like world renowned by
World
I say
renowned.
world renowned, no, not world renowned.
Or
Like,
golden
Only
Pucks or something.
renowned by the best chefs in the world, like Gordon Ramsay, and isn't world renowned.
has Michelin stars.
And basically is the chef of all chefs. Like he's a chef's chef. That was
But
weird.
at
He's
this point,
a chef.
Anyways, where are you going with this?
I'm saying like only other good chefs know that this chef's good.
Yeah.
He's a chef's chef.
But-
Then he would spend
that
money.
much money
Because he
but-
wants to know what's so great about the food.
Yes, that's literally
But
why I wonder why would I spend that much.
at this
Like
point,
like Gordon Ramsay literally explained why his burger is $12.
Well, no, that's because he uses a lot of high quality
Ingredients. And I want to
And
taste why it's such a high why all of this high quality make this burger so great.
Well, he also based his burger
Yeah,
with a brick of butter.
Yeah, that's true also.
And the brick of butter is probably expensive, so
Like
I mean
like,
he could buy it in bulk, but
like he is right in a sense like shaving gold on top of freaking
that's pointless.
it's pointless.
but there's no
Gold shavings, edible
Just
gold
just to increase the price of the freaking product? No way.
No. If you're gonna do it for flavor, then it makes sense.
It
But if
makes
it's not
sense.
for flavor-
Like
Yeah. But
if I'm trying to like say Kobe beef in a certified restaurant that
free range Kobe beef and
that there's
my,
no such thing as free range Kobe beef.
that's contradicting statements.
and my Kobe beef was running in a flock in a field.
Drinking
A
wine.
flock, herd, in a
anyways,
herd,
like
drinking from a pool
Cause-
of wine.
because Kobe beef is distribution of Kobe beef is limited. Like only small amount of restaurants are able to serve Kobe beef, and they must have a license. And when they get the beef, they also get a certificate of where that beef came from.
Alright, fair enough.
Was it free range though?
no,
did it have a
no.
And like I wanted to know how fast it could run a marathon.
These
Like
are
I
things
need all
that I
these
would say.
metrics to
So
know.
so yeah, I would pay a large amount of money for that just to taste Kobe
I would
beef.
pay a large amount of money
Yeah.
to eat.
Free range beef.
I was gonna say a person.
Sure.
Can you just imagine what it'd be like to have a taste of a living legend? Like, let's say Gordon
course.
Ramsay dies,
Taste.
and I want like a slice of his glue.
Is this coming full circle from you when you die you want to
Oh, that's different because people
I
aren't actually eating me; they're eating my flavor. They're tasting my flavor profile. That's different.
we had this conversation.
I know. I was there for it.
Yeah. We
That's different.
Yeah.
I'm packaging
we
my
burn
flavor
you.
profile.
We get your ashes.
Yeah,
Turn
and
it
brew
into
me into a tea.
Brew you in tea. Yeah.
But I'm saying like that's a flavor profile that I'm selling, not myself, right?
Yeah.
I guess at the same time it doesn't
You
fucking
technically selling yourself.
I
At the
just
same
want,
time, it doesn't matter whether or not I feel a living legend.
I just want to point
Like,
out
can
that
you imagine if a dodo bird
Would
was still
would you
alive?
would you eat a
Kim,
goat?
What were you saying? What were you saying?
I just want to point out, like, to me personally, as like, if I pay more money, I expect more food.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Like more food.
Yeah, like
But what if it was
I-
like a dodo bird?
no. Here's the thing.
Last of
Like,
its kind.
like, there comes a point where professional cooks they don't cook to feed people, but just to show off that they can cook.
Yeah,
That's
I hate
what
I
That's what
hate
I
that.
don't like.
I
Like,
hate that.
and then
What-
they
what do
put a
you hate?
ridiculous price tag on it, and that's the thing I don't
just
like.
the price of them showing they could cook, but the quality of the food is bad.
No.
Oh,
Like,
that's
no,
still-
I'm not. That's the quality isn't what I'm talking about because their skills and their quality will pretty much rise like in
No.
parallel.
No,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
It's
think so.
true. I think it's true.
Like the better, like Gordon Ramsay cooks amazing dishes all the time, right?
Yeah.
And like he has a lot of experience, and therefore his quality is usually good because like Gordon Ramsay, he knows how to like criticize himself. He knows how to get
Well,
better.
okay.
The point is, but there will come a point in time people will like high quality chefs will cook food not to feed people. That's why like $500 dish is
wrong
like
with
a
that?
tiny thing. Like you, the original question for you was like, would you eat like
Expensive food.
yeah like
Expensive
What's
food.
your take
But-
on expensive?
yeah like my take is that the higher the number usually.
But you're providing such a unique taste that is unavailable via
Yeah,
other
but I'm
meat
not-
styles.
I don't feel full.
Because
Alright? I
Because
don't feel full.
again, food comes down to subjective taste. It's subjective.
No, I just want to be full.
It
No,
basically becomes art now.
No,
You-
you say
you-
subjective taste. You're right in that sense. But like to feel full and to have enough food to feel full.
Yeah.
That sort of flavor profile is pretty generic and similar. You're not gonna get like a niche, unique taste from a certain that's why chefs don't like cook like regular. They don't try to
Regular meal.
optimize generic foods. Like they won't optimize mac and cheese. They'll make a unique niche version of mac and cheese that accentuates their style of cooking
Yeah, like
because
the,
it accentuates their style of cooking.
Yeah.
But generic mac and cheese doesn't accentuate anybody's style of cooking. That's why it's so comforting for many people because
It also
you're gonna get mac and cheese no matter where you go.
and it's gonna fill me up.
Yeah, but that's
I
my
don't need to
point.
pay a dollar.
but yeah,
That's my
I
point.
I wouldn't mind paying a lot just to taste what the chefs are trying to achieve.
Because
or-
you're also tasting skill, not just like
yeah, there's that.
Listen. If I can pay $1 for mac and cheese that can fill a bowl,
Yeah.
I'd eat that. But if I'm going to go to some top quality restaurants, I'm like big hat chef. It's like, oh, let me cook you real mac and cheese.
I like how you
Gives
said
me-
big hat because you can definitely tell the quality of the chef based on how tall
Yeah.
his hat
How tall is that?
Okay, continue.
But yeah, if I go to that like big fancy ass restaurant, and it's like, oh, can I get a mac and cheese that's on the menu? Yes, absolutely. He's gonna come back with like a single macaroni dipped in some high quality cheese, like and some nice looking garnishes. I'm not gonna eat that. I wasted my money because
I mean,
I'm gonna eat this single macaroni. I'm not gonna feel
if it
full.
was dipped in fondue and I could have the rest of the fondue,
No,
I would
Oh
like
man,
to.
No, you just get the plate.
Man, that's
You just get the plate, not the fondue. Just
Well,
the
that's
plate
it.
and a single macaroni. It's like, oh, look at this like garnish, this expertise in art. It's like,
That's
great,
the problem with
but
cooking.
is this
though.
gonna fill me up?
That's the problem with cooking. You can't sacrifice quality to save on price. It's necessary. If you're gonna have more quantity, it's gonna be poorer quality.
Yeah.
You can't.
I
achieve-
agree to that statement.
Unless we've reached a point in time where we've solved all
World hunger.
world hunger and that scarcity is no longer an issue and that universal basic income UBI is the standard and thus I have to pay a certain amount to get a certain thing.
Mhm.
Then yeah, with quantities over quantity, like if you're gonna get quantity over quality, it's still gonna be shit. So
Yeah, I'm just saying like when you say expensive food, that's like the only thing I see.
expensive.
Like,
So what's your threshold? Give me a
what
threshold.
do you mean by threshold?
Like what makes you extremely uncomfortable when you see the price?
See a price?
Yeah, when you see a price.
Uh,
Like if you see a burger and you see it goes for $14, that makes me extremely uncomfortable.
yeah, I would say that also. Like, if I see a freaking a small pudding, a rice pudding that's toppled with gold flakes. on top of it.
No. I want the threshold. Like what's the
threshold?
closest?
Okay, a rice pudding that's worth $1K.
No,
that's
you're
too
not.
big.
You're not talking to me
Okay.
about thresholds. I'm saying like if we're like a value picks meal at McDonald's for a McDouble is like $2
Yeah.
or $2.30 or $2.69. I'm comfortable with that. I'm fine paying almost $3 for a shitty
very-
cheeseburger.
yeah.
Shitty cheeseburger.
I'm fine paying $7 for a decent quality
I'm-
cheeseburger at Five Guys.
Okay.
Right? But to pay $14, twice the price for a regular burger in a restaurant, that makes me uncomfortable.
But how's the quality though?
That's my point. I'm not gonna. I'd much rather just spend
Oh, okay. So you'd rather lower your standards.
lower my standards to
For
get
a
twice
cheaper
the amount.
burger,
Yeah.
yeah. That's me too.
I-
I just want to
That's the
I just
threshold.
want to feel full.
Then I don't know what's my threshold then,
Well, think about it.
because I don't mind paying like $100 for a really good steak.
Oh, I would mind.
I wouldn't mind.
Can you imagine Do you know how many tubs of rice can go with every bite of steak?
I can understand that, but like,
I don't get people who can eat steak by itself. That's
Like-
stupid. You guys are dumb. I'm sorry to say, like, I know everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
But you guys are actually living life wrong.
You're attacking a lot of people there, friend.
You're living life wrong. It makes no sense. You can have, rice with that. You can have potato chips with it. You can have potatoes with it. You can have mashed potatoes with it. You can have vegetables with a side of meat on it. But I mean, just meat by itself, this is ludicrous.
You
dude.
tell that to all the carnivores in the world.
Crazy. They're dumb. I've developed my teeth specifically to non-hard vegetables so that I can lose them when I'm 80.
but yeah,
I say that, but I don't actually like vegetables too much.
like we had this discussion with Leo.
Oh, okay, on the
Good.
topic of food.
Great.
The transition onto insects. How would you manage?
Insects. What do you mean?
Being able to eventually switch your diet from primarily meats-based to insect-based.
Because they have a lot more protein and nutritional value.
That and it's just it has a
and
less
matter
effect.
abundance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a way lower carbon footprint.
Yeah.
So
Um,
way lower.
I'd be okay with that. I would miss meat definitely, but I would definitely go with it because I got a bit of a small story. When I was a very small boy, even smaller than me right now, I was in Korea and there was a
Why
buffet
did you imply that?
Okay.
Continue.
There was a buffet,
Yeah,
a buffet,
there was deep fried grasshoppers.
and was it tasty?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I would
Was
love
it made
to try
into
that.
a pancake?
No,
Was it made into?
no. It's just literally just
Well,
deep
deep
fried,
fried anything is great.
and then it was just in a bowl.
Was it crunchy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you eat it with any sauce?
Actually, I didn't even think.
Were
about
you
that.
hopping around of joy?
No, I just I was.
You could
skeptical
say
at
you
first.
you could say you were a grasshopper at the time.
But yeah, I was skeptical at first, even as a small child.
How old are you?
Before 9.
So you were living in Vancouver at the time?
No, this is when I was in Korea.
He said he was in Korea.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry.
So I was skeptical at first, but when I took the first 2 bites, this is actually really good. I went for a round, second round, and I picked up just a couple more because it was a buffet, right?
Yeah.
For the whole thing.
Okay.
And then I ate it, and it's this is really good. Went back, there was none left. I
Oh
was
Jesus!
really sad.
Everyone knew that the grasshopper was really good.
You could say they hop away.
Did they make like an egg dessert and like put it on a very low platter?
See, I know
I
you're trying to
think it's
reference
called a low custard.
something. Fair enough. Also, no.
That was excellent.
Also,
a low custard.
I get it. I
Okay.
get it. But my point
Oh, I
is,
was thinking
Also-
that entire
No.
time you were talking about that Buffett story. I was just thinking about how could I insert locust into a pun?
anyway,
bad.
also, quickly going back to the insect conversation.
Yeah.
I'm also okay with just consuming stuff like that too, because Korea has stuff like that.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
okay.
That's good enough reason for me. Why not?
Yeah.
Sure.
You thought he would be uncomfortable with that.
No, I didn't think he was going to be uncomfortable. I just thought he would have a more profound reasoning other than I had this at
Yeah.
one place.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm okay with it.
I thought he was talking about,
His impression of bugs is very.
Yeah.
No, I thought he'd be go more in depth of he's into the texture, he likes the flavor profile, maybe it's more cost efficient.
No, it was just-
years ago. I don't remember
I was a
shit.
child. I loved it. So
Yeah.
I probably will be
Exactly.
against it.
Listen, I can't recall that far deep into my memory. All right.
I want to
They're
be.
all a blur.
How do you harvest them? That's my
Harvest.
if you harvest a locust, you obviously don't want to squish it because that affects the texture.
Get a big net.
Is that what you do? And then what do? Do you just dry them out until they become that's my point. How do you humanely kill insects?
You really?
I don't know if that seems humanely killing me.
Do you air fry it?
Is that one way?
Is
of
that
doing
one
it?
way to do it?
I don't know.
And does that mess up their texture profile because they're jumping around trying to escape the little cylinder that you put them in?
Is it like the frog in a boiling water concept?
Or maybe you just deprive them of oxygen so that they don't live.
Suffocating them
Yeah,
like a fish or something like
Yeah,
that.
so then you like preserve their like exoskeleton structure.
Or is it like more of the lobster technique where you throw them and bring up the water up to temperature to
Is that
boil
how
They
you do it?
yell.
so they won't yell.
They
They
screech.
screech.
They do?
I think so.
That's
Oh my
that's
God.
one of the
That's awful.
Rumors?
I've heard stories.
Yeah.
Oh my
where
goodness.
you put a lobster into a bowl of
Ah,
water,
that-
you hear this screeching sound.
Remind me not to buy live lobsters, or if I do, I'm just gonna stab them repeatedly
But
until they
but
die
there's
first.
but there's also a saying.
Jesus.
This is just me watching YouTube videos where to
Oh.
humanely kill a lobster, you cut the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cut the head
Crack
first. Yeah, you crack it and then you put it into boiling water
Yeah.
so you won't hear the screech.
Oh,
I don't know, I've
just the
heard
thought
stories.
just gives me ugh. That's
But yeah,
But how would you do that with insects? That's my question.
yeah,
Like,
that's
do you-
the question.
I'd have
Maybe
to
you
put some
just-
earplugs on
you
first
sing-
so I don't hear them screaming.
Maybe you just sing them a lullaby and then you just whack
Dude.
their heads off.
No, their heads are definitely
You provide like really tiny guillotines.
Yeah. One that
Quick chop to the back of the head.
No,
That doesn't work on cockroaches. They still live.
Yeah,
with
they
us.
still go.
They have brains in their butts.
Do you go both sides?
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, I remember the
Will that
grasshoppers
work?
having
Maybe.
heads. I think also I think they were probably imported because I don't think Korea has a locust problem.
Oh, that's another thing I have an issue with about insects is that you can't see the inside of them before you. cook
Yes,
them.
that's one of the.
Remember we had this
Yeah,
conversation.
you
Like
still-
scorpion
you
eggs?
still- You still taste like the
What?
grittiness of it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Not
Yeah.
unless you really fucking deep fry them.
No, but I mean, like,
Even then.
there was like we watched this one video of a man eating a scorpion,
Yeah.
and he cracked open the scorpion. And there was like a bunch of eggs inside. The
Oh.
scorpion.
Oh,
Wait, why is that for you?
I don't know. I just feel a little squeamish.
Why is that?
I don't know. Okay.
and it's because of the exoskeleton. Of
Yeah,
the,
it's difficult to see what's inside.
inside of.
Unless you
You
really
can't-
rip them apart.
You can't really like
Take out the
clean
gizzards. Yeah, you can't
gizzards.
clean the.
a.
Because
insect
otherwise you'll
or
have
a-
just an exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that you always have to pulverize them.
Like put it into a flour base, a flour
No,
acid.
you just have to pulverize whatever insect you encounter just to make sure that you don't got some nasty bits inside.
Or,
Or at least all those nasty bits end up being the same type.
But like John said, that it
Yeah, deep fried.
you deep fry them and then you get rid of the grittiness by the oils.
I don't know if that's how it works.
This
Or
is
maybe
me
you
throwing
only pick male
bitches.
locusts.
Huh?
You only pick
Well, I
male
get
locusts
it.
when they're incapable of
Creating
having
eggs.
eggs inside of them.
like selectively.
And then we only keep the females ones for breeding.
man, that would be such a hassle. Just that hand-to-hand process of grabbing a locust, taking a look at it, and throwing it in one bin.
Well, you put every single bug into sleep like an anesthesia chamber, and then just like wear a mask and you just separate each individual ones.
Oh yeah.
How long have we been going for?
It's almost an hour.
Now, do we want to cut it here?
I'd say this is good enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Like 1 hour, an hour and a half is good.
Eventually
we
can
had
get
a
further and longer.
very good reception because there was a whopping one person in chat.
Oh, it's sad.
It was just chat.
I know.
But we didn't really drop any frames after that initial drop.
It was
Yeah.
stable.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, I guess is there going to be a formal way to end this?
no,
Fine.
there you go.
Okay,
Now you can
okay.
understand.
Cut industry.
Have fun, everyone.
Bye.